And greetings, everybody. Keith here. Hoping everybody's having a good day, enjoying life, living life, and loving life. Want to remind everybody hit that like, share, and subscribe button down there. There's a PayPal link for anybody that wants to share some love. And we've got 5 Speed with us again tonight. How you doing tonight, Russ?
Good, good. How are you?
Good, good. Enjoying a little bit of a warm up in the weather today. We got into the upper 30s.
I don't know what we got here today, but I'd say it was maybe a little higher than that because I went out to get the garbage can and just a long sleeve thin shirt, and hell, it felt good out there.
Yeah, yeah. We've been in the single digits here for a bit, so it was a relief.
Got a shit ton of snow.
Yeah, we don't have anything. We've got a trace, but anyway, we're going to be talking about the insanity spreading like peanut butter because it covers all venues. Like I said before, a lot of this stuff is pretty much systemic, um, and we find ourselves, at least I do, in my observances, in a world where on American soil we're slowly becoming Hitler's willing executioners, and using a simple excuse, "I'm just doing my job," as if though that's competent enough, and it's not. And it all comes down to the miscommunications that we have because many people have been indoctrinated just like I was. I'll admit I used to be a fool. I used to be the bitch ass slave. I used to be indoctrinated. And there are many places that I may still be indoctrinated. I'm not perfect, but I'm doing my damnedest to go through those observances and using my own thought process in a reasonable and logical pattern to deduce and discern what is real and what is not so real.
Absolutely. You know, I would for you and me to get together one time here soon, and let me show you what I got going on and what I've come across and what I believe, and I think you'll find. Um, I think you'll find it valuable. It's to
Oh, I'm
do with the
sure.
education system and the banking system and what happened in '83. So it's more than that. It can tie it to the record label and a bunch of shit. But you know the name that I carry, and Diddy carried that same name, and that banking commissioner and that head chairman of the board of regents of Eastern Kentucky University carried that same name. So
Yeah, we'll certainly get on it because that's I did a in-depth video on the public education system itself. So yeah, it's and we've talked about in no certain context things like land banks and things like that. So yeah, we'll get together. If not tonight, let's do it tomorrow sometime.
yeah, it doesn't have to be right now. I'm not ready right now, but just whenever you got some time.
All right, we'll do. In the meantime, this is the first video I've got pulled up, and this is a guy talking about never sell out. Story, the untold story of standing your ground, and I don't know if it's a true story or not, but listen up, the context of it, and the implications of being able to use this in your own life as a concept of how you move.
They wanted me to tell them that I did things with Donald Trump. They wanted him to lose his license in the casinos that he had. He said, Steve Wynn will be very, very happy if you have something to say about him. So I told the agents, you want me to lie? And they said, come on, Sam, we can't tell you to lie. Okay, then what is Steve Wynn going to give me? If he loses his license, this is very big for
Hit that
Steve
link,
Wynn.
brother.
Do I get a huge job, a piece of his casino? What does he want to give me? And they said, Sammy, we can't get into all of that. Then I said, good, get the fuck out. Trump is a legitimate guy, period. And I'm not doing nothing. You can't bribe me. You can't do anything.
Wait, did you just say Steve Wynn's people try to bribe you to say bad things about Trump and you said, no, you have nothing to tell them?
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Is that story public?
I think you're breaking news now. They wanted.
I think you're breaking news now. I like that. I like that. And so
That's Sammy the Bull.
Yeah, and that it goes down to, like I was telling you before, about being able to discern things through your own observances and using your own thought processes, rather than listening to all the bullshit that's put before you in propaganda and sales and advertisements and shit like that. You have to understand that you are truly, and their intent truly is to induce you into certain things. The next one, Congressman embarrasses ACLU attorney for ignoring 85,000 missing children. Let's look this up.
You this day?
Yes,
You here voluntarily?
yes,
Are you here with counsel or are you by yourself?
I'm by myself.
Congratulations. These 85,000 missing children. What's your opinion about that? How's the ACLU feel about 85,000 missing children?
So
You think their civil rights might be being violated?
our view is that those children are not likely missing, that the sponsors don't simply answer the
Yeah, the sponsors
What an excuse. Let's rewind that.
be being violated.
Our view is that
Our view. See, it's not up to your view. It's up to the preponderance of the evidence that 85,000 children are missing, first and foremost. And you're saying they're not. That, in your view, the foster care parents or whatever just didn't answer the phone. How many times did they just not answer the phone? I mean, in that foster care contract with the federal government to take care of such foreign children in safe harbor, isn't there some kind of communication requirement? I mean, to specifically shut off communication isn't an excuse to use your simple view that they aren't missing, that the parents are just ignoring what they're supposed to do. There is inherently something wrong either way you look at it. This befuddles me. These are the kind of people you have in these positions, and this is the kind of bullshit they would throw at you. Sickening.
those children are not likely missing, that the sponsors don't simply answer the
Yeah, the sponsors are not real. You know that, right? It's a racket. It's a sponsor racket. That's why they're not.
Oh, so now we see an even another side. Now he's saying they're not even real, that they're just out on record, and there is no one to answer the phone. That's why they're not answering, because they're not real. What are the implications of that? I mean, now it goes beyond inducement. Now it goes on to culpability and knowing and this and that.
Not answering the phone. That's why you can't find who they are. The vast, large percentage of these sponsors, these kids are getting so.
At most, at best, at best, it would be gross negligence and incompetence.
Into sex trafficking primarily, human slavery. The policies of this administration are supporting that.
And that points out what I was just going to say, is it's not just singularly this one man he's confronting here, but it's actually all the people that are involved in this, all the way down to the people that vote for these people. And we end up with legislations to get rid of plastic straws and paper wraps, to only end up with paper straws and plastic wraps, and never fully even addressing the real issue, which is plastics as a whole, because you use that plastic straw in a paper wrap, or vice versa, the paper straw in a plastic wrap, in a goddamn paper cup with a plastic cup with a plastic lid. So it just befuddles me.
I don't, for the life of me, and you know people see these things just as well as we see them. And that guy comes up with a bullshit cockamamie answer like that. How don't you have to question, how in the fuck did they ever get where they're at?
Absolutely, and that's why I keep talking about the bitch ass slaves that are willing to allow this shit to happen. It's only because the people allow it to happen rather than stepping up and taking responsibility of directing that government before it has to be overthrown for being despotic. They have to prevent it from being this despotic. This is evidence that they haven't done so.
I better hope I never get in charge, because you'll be handing over all of your paperwork, and we'll be looking at the elements of design and the creations and the operations and the strategy that you used. It was not in good faith. You better hope I don't get that damn
Yep.
power.
Yep.
You better hope I don't get it.
We're partnering with the cartels for human trafficking. You speak on behalf of the,
And that's an important part there, that very last part.
or supporting that. We're partnering with the cartels for human trafficking.
Absolutely, I agree. Strong opinion to have, but if you don't like it, I don't care. You can kiss my ass. Just an opinion. So the next one, CIA files, secret hidden strings.
At the CIA, we had a senior FBI agent come to talk to the new hire class. And one of the things that he said.
So the FBI and the CIA have a definitive connection when the CIA uses the FBI in an approach to their new hires in any kind of manner. It's got to be some kind of instructive or educational or training manner. Think about that. Why else would they go to them? Well, remember, FBI is the one that maintains the fingerprint files under the Interstate Identification Index.
Has stuck in my mind all of these 32 plus years. We were talking about the FBI's role in counterintelligence, that is, trying to spot spies who are spying on us. Most embassies here in Washington have what are called declared officers. Those are foreign intelligence officers who are here, and they are formally known to the FBI and the CIA as intelligence officers. This FBI agent told us at the time that the Israeli embassy was unusual.
If it's an intelligence officer, wouldn't that be an office of intelligence? Wouldn't that be something that most anybody that believes themselves to be intelligent and exude that intelligence through intellectualism and stuff, wouldn't that be just a natural office to fill? Isn't that, see, I ask if you got a high school diploma or its equivalency, because that term diploma actually relates to diplomatic concerns as such. Interesting.
The Israeli embassy had two declared officers, one from Shin Bet and one from Mossad. And it had 187 undeclared officers that the FBI had been able to identify, spread out all across America, in academia, in the defense contracting industry.
See, they know what's going on, and they coordinate these programs and departments and stuff together. And like I said, it's that Interstate Identification Index. You better understand what that identification is, as opposed to private credentials as of diplomatic concerns through the Department of State. This is one of those problems with the people declaring state nationals. So you walk out of high school and get that high school diploma, and then you turn around and subject yourself to state identification instead of sticking to the private credentials that you were already accredited to through educational credits. Have to make that education valid, folks. Now, this is a funny one where people, this technology that we have is creating some confusion in very simple-minded people that think they have authority to begin with, and then can't use that supposed authority and logic and reason to make the proper discernment. These are those public officers, those policy enforcers. So vaping is now illegal.
Oh, really? Turn around, put your hands behind your back. I don't need your consent.
May I ask why?
Because I have probable cause.
Probable cause of?
Drugs being in your car.
Again, probable cause because what was the original cause for the stop, officer? If any drugs should be found in the car.
Dude, shut your mouth, dude.
The original
4406 County, show them out the tank.
Not be drugs. It'd be fruit of the poisonous tree, officer.
Dude,
Fruit of the poisonous tree. And this is one of the problems that I've been talking about as far as things like tinted windows. See, we have the onus probandi of providing privacy in public just like anybody else. But they say that we can't provide that privacy because there's a limit on the window tint so that they can see into a vehicle. Well, you don't have the right to look into my private temple as I'm moving about the land using my right of locomotion, no matter what you want to try to define it as, because it still goes to the use, and that use is still private. And again, that onus of probandi is providing that privacy. So even when it's not provided, you still can't operate on assumptions and presumptions. And that's exactly what this officer did. So pay attention when he talks about this vape pen.
you are fucking stupid, dude. Get in the car, dude. Get in the car.
Please put
Dude, you are fucking stupid, dude. He's going to arrest this man, which is actually what he's doing. He's saying, no, you're being detained, da-da-da-da. No, you just arrested this man, put him in cuffs in the back of the car and everything because you saw something in a vehicle that you claim is be a vehicle, da-da-da-da, and you're going to prove to be the stupid one.
No, get in the fucking car.
All right, you'll be hearing from.
Let alone talking to him like this. There's no reason for him to be talking like this.
You
None.
don't even belong in public service, buddy.
None. Yeah, absolutely.
And again, they better hope I don't ever get in charge.
See, this guy is triggered because of his feelers, because he saw something that he's using in his mind as an imagination, a projection, to believe that it's some kind of drug paraphernalia or something, when in fact it's not. That's the thing he's going to find out. And that's what makes him stupid, because he's the one proving that he's operating on feelers alone. He's escalating because of those feelers, and he has no foundation for those feelers other than his false belief.
My lawyer about constitute violations.
That sounds good, buddy. You'll be going to jail tonight. You want to play it that way?
I don't even know what I'm being arrested for.
You're not under arrest. You're being detained.
You're not under arrest. You're being detained. No, the Supreme Court has already ordered that if you've been stopped. So when he stopped him in the car alone, he was arrested. Then he furthered that arrest by placing him in handcuffs and inside the motor vehicle, his squad car. All under a felony of presenting an emergency by use of the lights.
Just said.
He's got issues.
Officer.
Calling him the stupid one and saying he's got issues. This guy is the one that's got issues, and it's his own stupidity.
Thompson believes the vape pen is what gives him probable cause, but this pen is...
Interesting name for the vape pen.
Thompson believes the vape pen...
Looper. Officer Looper, looping imaginations in his mind.
...is what gives him probable cause, but this pen is non-psychoactive.
This is not the first time this officer's done it, and if they don't do anything about it, it won't be the last.
Active, and has been legal in the state for nearly 5 years. Backup now arrives and asks what his probable cause is.
Excuse me, officer.
And asks what his probable cause is. Now he's got a problem because, again, first of all, he used emergency lights to pull him over. An unlawful stop to begin with. Learn the laws. Then when he got up to the automobile and demanded his ID and everything, that's subordination to perjury of identification for commercial or legal use. This all stems from not knowing how this stuff is supposed to work. What do you think, Russ?
I think, I mean, if you want my honest opinion, go back to in the beginning was word. I really don't have to worry about all this stuff. I mean, if we get back to the spirit of the law, if you can convince me that I have broke somehow stepped outside the spirit of the law, then I'll entertain any of this other horse shit. But until then, I don't think you got the right to stop me and hinder me and hold me up for anything. Period. And that's what I believe.
Well, yeah, and I think that's that singular aspect that we're trying to draw together as a community, and I think that's important. And that happens to be touching on the next topic, the Amish and their ability to come together as a community.
Remember those Amish groups in Pennsylvania that voted? Look what else they're doing. Boone, North Carolina officials have confirmed that 62 members of the Pennsylvania Amish community have completed the construction of 12 tiny homes in western North Carolina in under 48 hours.
48 hours, 12 tiny homes. You know, I don't know what the cost of them was, the expense. But again, that's coming together to do good works, to help people that need it, not to be industrious and profitable on the top side of things, but knowing how to take charity of the abundance and spread that. And I think that's one of the main principles that I see with the Amish, because they extend it beyond their own communities, folks. They understand that concept in reality. In my opinion, of course.
The total cost of the project was over $300,000.
Okay, so just over $300,000, you said, for 12 tiny homes. We'd have to do the math on that, but that's kind of interesting.
All of which was donated by the Amish community.
All of which was donated. Cool. So the expense remained with them. So it was all done in charity, every last bit of it, time and expense.
Here's the pictures.
Interesting.
Now, several
How
of
many
these
homes did he say it was?
12 of them. They look like
25,000.
How much?
25,000 apiece.
Interesting. That's an awful expensive little shed. I'd have to check into it, find out what, because those only look like maybe 10 by 20s or something like that. We'll see.
We're told to stand down and stop building these tiny homes by our own government, and they said no. We were used to helping one another in the Amish, and we are going to take care of these people that were abandoned by the government. And they stepped in and they kept right on doing what they're doing, and I respect them and love them for that.
Absolutely. See, they did so even against the face of a tyrannical government and said they can't give charity. Funny how that works, because charity is the main thing that you give beyond your means. Not beyond your means, but within your means, because you've got that extra to give, and it goes beyond that very local community into the others that, like I said, those that are in need of it. So this comes down to the need of spirituality as well as any kind of materialistic charity. Interesting. Let's see what Candace Owens says. Candace Owens shuts down her critics in viral moment. And again, my apologies. I don't know why they're all silent.
He was a homicidal, psychopathic maniac that killed his own people.
They tried to paint Candace Owens as a Hitler supporter, but her response left everyone stunned.
Miss Owens said, quote, "If Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine."
Would you like time to respond to that?
Yes, I think it's pretty apparent that Mr. Liu believes that Black people are stupid and will not pursue the full clip in its entirety. He purposely presented an extracted clip.
The witness will suspend for a moment. It is not proper to refer disparagingly to a member of the committee.
This guy right here, Mr. Nadler, he's white knighting right now. He jumped up to white knight Slap-a-ho. And it's amazing because what he's speaking out on, he didn't listen, like she's going to point out. And pay attention, folks, because again, this white knight and babbling shit's going to stop. But yet these are the people that are doing it. This guy's been around for decades. This old ancient motherfucker, and this is part of the problem. Listen to his babble and what he accuses him of, and then turn around and listen to how she responds and totally tears him apart for it.
The witness will not do that again. Witness may continue.
Sure, even though I was called despicable.
Witness may not refer to a member of the committee as stupid.
I didn't refer to him as stupid. That's not what I said. That's not what I said at all. You didn't listen to what I said.
Things run well, okay, fine.
Would you like time to respond to that?
Yes, I think it's pretty apparent that Mr. Liu believes that Black people are stupid and will not pursue the full clip in its entirety.
He believes Black people are stupid. That's the comment.
Purposely presented an extracted clip.
The witness will suspend for a moment. It is not proper to refer disparagingly to a member of the committee. The witness will not do that again.
So she wasn't referring to anybody in the committee. She was referring to a comment and how it was disparaging against the colored people. Imagine that. Had nothing to do with the member.
Witness may continue.
Sure, even though I was called despicable.
Witness may not refer to a member of the committee as stupid.
I didn't refer to him as stupid. That's not what I said. That's not what I said at all. You didn't listen to what I said. May I continue?
Please.
And then he just shrugs it off. No apology, no nothing, no repentance. Please forgive me, nothing. This is pathetic. This is why we're in the state we're in, folks. We allow this shit. And this is part of where we get the fake news.
Not all of us, but
yeah, well, yeah, you know what I mean. And this is where we get a large part of the fake news is from the fake interpretations and fake outputs of people like this, twisting the narrative because of their twisted out observances. We all clearly understood that that was not a disparaging mark to any member of the committee at all. In its context, it was a reiteration of something denoted somewhere else.
As I said, he is assuming that Black people will not go pursue the full 2-hour clip. And he purposefully he cut off, and you didn't hear the question that was asked of me. He's trying to present as if I was launching a defense of Hitler in Germany, when in fact, the question that was asked of me was pertaining to whether or not I believed in nationalism and that nationalism was bad. And what I responded to was that I do not believe that we should be characterizing Hitler as a nationalist. A nationalist would not kill their own people.
But that's exactly what he is or was, and that's exactly what Nazi actually means. It was the nationalist party that he created after he overtook the party or won the party when he first joined the German nationalists.
That is exactly what I was referring to in the clip, and he purposely wanted to give you a cut up similar to what they do to Donald Trump to create a different narrative. That was unbelievably dishonest, and he did not allow me to respond to it, which is worrisome and should tell you a lot about where people are today in terms of trying to drum up narratives. By the way, I would like to also add that I work for Prager University, which is run by an Orthodox Jew. Not a single Democrat showed up to the embassy opening in Jerusalem. I sat on a plane for 18 hours to make sure that I was there. I'm deeply offended by the insinuation of revealing that clip without the question that was asked of me. He was a homicidal, psychopathic.
Absolutely. And that's the projection or directive of a false narrative that they want to present. And we need to start seeing this shit. And that's why it's so important to understand these little clips and stuff, even this one here. If you really want to understand the context and have a true opinion about it, you should do deeper research. Here we have a man's dog is arrested for barking too loud.
It's arrested?
Yeah. And this goes to the aspect that, I wonder, folks, should we not ourselves...
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Well, should we not ourselves... Think about this, Russ. Should we not ourselves be calling the animal control on each other when we have a problem with each other?
Well, probably should be. Probably should be.
Hey, how you doing, Rocky? Welcome up, brother.
Good to see you, Rock.
He's busy coughing or something. There he is.
Hey.
How's it going, brother?
All right. Trying to get my camera to work. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. I got a sawmill and all the tools to build tiny houses. See, and that's the kind of thing we need to start working on. People have this abundance thing as a materialistic world of keeping up with the Joneses. And I think that's a false narrative, that the true abundance comes from being humble and more minute in our footprints in this world. And that includes being able to deal with tinier homes and lesser amenities, and using nature for its true power and abundance naturally.
I think people may want to take a deeper look into the elements of design within one's thoughts.
Well, yeah, the true imaginations that we have, are they comprehensively forthright and possible and good for ourselves and others? And I think that's imperative in that part about being careful to maintain good works. You got to do that from the start. If you go bumbling around with no real intent, then it turns out to have ill effect. It could be construed as ill intent. That's what we have a problem with. Anyway, let's see how this dog gets arrested.
I need to know your dog's names and information of that.
See, they even have to identify the damn dogs, right? It can't be any better than this. We need private credentials for our damn animals, man.
Yeah.
Do you have
No
anything
wonder
to
we're
declare?
broke.
Yeah. Do you have anything to declare? Yeah, we got to declare our animals. These are, you can't use these by name.
You need to know my dog's name and information of them? Why would you need to know that?
Every animal we come in contact with, we need their name, their
You
age.
haven't came in contact with my animal, Mel. My animal's not loose.
We're here about a call for barking.
My animals are not loose. Y'all have not came in contact with my animals.
What had happened is, sir, somebody had called.
Good point. You have not come in contact with my animal.
Right.
This is the same thing as trying to use a third party to get to a defendant and in breach of a search warrant or arrest warrant of some sort. You can't do that. You can't use CPS to breach that warrant. You got to have that warrant, no matter who you fucking think you are.
I believe that's what saved me that day back 3 years ago now on Christmas, when that comment. it was funny and shit. And my son, he thought I was going to jail. When that cop said my name and I turned around and looked at him, I said, "Don't ever utter those words out of your mouth again. You have a defendant identified officer." Buddy, he didn't know what the fuck to do.
Yep.
Complain that your dogs are barking all day. So we just want to.
Do you hear? Hold on, listen.
See, his dog's been barking all day, and you can see it's plain daylight now. So what they're using here in all situations like this, they're going to use the noise ordinance. But see, in municipalities, those noise ordinances don't start up until certain hours, and this is known in the contract world. You can't start up machinery before 7 a.m. in the morning. This is why your garbage trucks have a certain exception that they can start out at like 4 o'clock in the morning or something in certain urban areas where there's large developments, large municipalities and stuff, New York, Chicago, Pennsylvania. But your smaller communities, they're more strict and stick to that 7 a.m. guideline. Interesting stuff, huh, folks? Still all contract.
Y'all hear that?
Yes.
Okay, that's somebody else's dog barking all day too, right?
Right.
Okay, well, listen to.
See, that's somebody else's dog. See, now you're gonna get him. See, you can't be particular here. You have to be general in its application. And if you're gonna claim my dog is barking and it's violation of city ordinance, then you better follow up and rightly and justly go get the other dogs that are barking too. And you should be making this a daily effective pursuit so that you can fulfill the enforcement of that ordinance as you supposedly iterate. You can't just let one go and be picky and choosy, and then use your own excuses for those that pickiness and choosiness. See, the law applies across the board, folks.
I've got a framework that'll fix that.
Say what?
I have a framework that'll can fix that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think once if we ever get to the top with anything.
Yeah, well, it's a matter of communicating with the right people, and that's the one.
But I think absolutely 100%, no questions asked. From a spiritual side of it, most definitely, you're not getting around it.
Right. When we bring
And it's very simple, and it has to do with combs. So
I know some towns don't allow chickens, probably because the rooster starts whatever early in the morning. But
right, in your more centralized commercial type residential settings, they don't allow that because those are your commercial workers, and they work 9 to 5 and this and that, and they generally don't get up quite so early, or it disturbs some of them, and so those are more set for not being regulated out on the urban areas. In the farmlands and stuff, they're not quite so regulated.
there's an acronym, Wiz, COMS, Commodity Operation Management Business System. And another one, Contractor Operated and Maintained Base Supply.
Huh.
Absolutely. That's why I want to get with you.
Yeah.
I was a man for a while. You got to get these kind of books.
And you know what? I'm willing to hang tonight if you want to get into it a little.
Which one's that? Industrial Manager's Desk Handbook.
Yeah, I studied this to be a foreman, and then supervisors, managers.
Well, yeah, that's one of those. It's going to give you kind of a general structure for execution of their policies and stuff. It's a form of governance. They're just using different grammar for the different positions.
Yeah, bureaucracies use the same principles, just call them different. Administration.
Yep.
I'd like for y'all to leave my property, okay? That's about as far as we could take this here today. I'd like for y'all to leave my property, and
You own the house? You're the homeowner?
once again, answer no questions, but I would like for y'all to leave my property. Thank you again.
Okay, so anytime a dog is outside for more than an hour, they do need a doghouse present. Are we able
All of my
to
dogs
see
have
that the dogs
doghouse. You're not coming in my backyard. No.
Okay, so how can we fix this? I need to know your dog's.
So how can we fix this? You show me what's broke first.
Get out of here.
Exactly. Show me what's broke first. This is the same thing with the reasonable articulable suspicion. You got to show me what the crime is first, and then show that I'm in the commission of it, or have done it already, or have an intent planned out to do so. You ain't got that stuff, then get the fuck off.
Yeah, motherfuckers, get out of here.
Here's another one that's rather bold. See, these people are very narcissistic, and I think this guy suffers from Napoleon complex. I can't tell how tall he is, but he looks kind of short. Just
yeah, he's fat. He's fat. That's why they don't mess with me, because I'm an ex-Marine. I'm 6'4", 220 pounds, and I intimidate them.
There you go. I'm only 5'7", 135, going 140 now. I think I've been kind of wavering 135, 140 lately, but that's not. I'm not very big, so I don't intimidate them much. Even no matter how hard I might try, it doesn't work. So I learned to change my ways. Anyway, let's listen to this one. No warrant cop gets what he deserves.
This cop just pushed open the door to a lady's house, and what you are about to witness is a tremendous violation of the Fourth Amendment, as the cop explodes the whole situation sky high in the blink of an eye.
See, look how short he is in that door frame. Of course, she's short too, but that's normal for a woman. Look at the door latch. I mean,
oh my God, they're short. What they're like?
Just saying, you know.
You do not have a right to be inside my house. I will talk to you outside. Officer, I will talk to you. I am not going to step outside your house. You do not have a warrant to be inside your house. I'm not inside your house.
I'm not going to step. Listen to this guy. Listen to him babble.
not going to step outside your house.
You do not have a
We're
warrant
gonna
to be
talk
inside
right
of
here.
my house.
I'm not inside your house.
One more time, guys.
See, he couldn't get away with that.
Your house.
You do not have a
We're
warrant
gonna
to be
talk
inside
right
of my house.
I'm not inside your house.
I'm not
Yeah,
going to
you
step
are.
out.
You broke
I'm
the
not.
threshold.
Well,
That
yeah,
might
he
be a
said,
pretty tall door because that doorknob, that's about right, ain't it?
I don't know. I'm just saying. It just seems to me he's kind of short. Anyway, the real issue here is I'm not going to step outside your house. The next comment he makes is I'm not inside your house.
Yeah, he broke the threshold.
Right before your eyes, and I can't understand why anybody would think this man is competent of any job, let alone a policy enforcer.
You're inside of my house.
Let me tell you why I'm right here.
Because you walked.
You're
They
inside
like
my
it.
house. Now she points out that you're inside my house, and now he's going to explain why he's right here. I'm not going to step outside your house. I'm not inside your house. Let me tell you why I'm here.
Walked in.
No,
This is my home.
And now that I'm inside your house,
The insanity, folks.
I own your house right now.
Do you hear that?
I own your house right now, boy.
My home.
And now that I'm inside your house, I own your house right
you
now.
do not.
Yes, I do.
This is my home.
And now that I'm inside your house, I own your house right now.
Can we get any more insane
How
than
about
that?
I throat fucking punch you? Then what you got?
Own your
Can-
house? The fuck?
You're in my house, motherfucker.
I mean, where do these people get these insane concepts that because they have this shiny badge that they can step in your house, say they're not going to step outside your house, then try to convince you that they're not inside your house, and then try to tell you why they are there, why they're there, and then tell you why they're inside your house, and still not explain any authority other than I said so.
He's got that little man syndrome.
Well, yeah, that's why I mentioned. I think he's kind of short. I think he's got Napoleon
He
complex.
he couldn't get away with that. If I was there, that's why they
Yeah,
do it.
Yeah, he'd be
today.
pushed right back out that door, huh?
When the men are at work, they come. You know, have to deal with the wife.
Yeah, it could have been that time of the month.
Say what?
I said it could have been that time of the month.
I don't care if you know your rights.
What the f- do you want inside my house? Bring your supervisor
showing it.
to my home now. You have
What? Oh. What's Rocky got up? Malice in Blunderland. Ah.
Yeah.
Malice in Blunderland, guys. Thomas L. Martin Jr. Thomas L. Martin Jr., Malice in Blunderland. Check it out.
Yeah. One of my favorite
What the
books.
f- do you want inside my house? Bring your supervisor to my home now. You have no right to be inside. Get the f- out of my
I'm
home.
not going to get out of your house. Go
Dare
ahead and
you.
touch me.
This is my
Go
home,
ahead and touch
bro. You're in my house.
I am telling
You're
you.
in my house. Don't do that. You're in my house. I did not shoot her. Did I did not touch you, bro. I didn't touch you,
Bro,
bitch.
that
You're
guy-
intimidating.
Lawsuit incoming. Damn right.
Oh shit! Here's a good book. You read this one, I'm sure. What's it called? The Law. How does it work? I can't get it on there.
You pretty much got to get rid of your back screen.
Oh yeah. Fuck that back screen. Where is it?
What do you think the judge would say, Keith, if you ask them to give you the elements of design within the creation and the operations and the strategy within the paperwork?
Frederick Bastiat, The Law.
Yeah, it's a good book.
So yeah, lawsuit incoming on that one, folks. That's automatic, mandatory. There's a lawsuit incoming as soon as he pushed that door open. had no right to do so. And then he continued violating those rights, 4th, 5th, 1st, 8th. So let's check out the next one. How police investigate the problem. How police investigate the problem. Well, we saw how the last one does so.
Officer Hill, thank you for identifying yourself.
Do you have your identification on you?
Do I have identification on me? Of course I do.
Okay. Well,
See, I don't carry ID on me. First and foremost, I don't carry ID on me. Sorry.
like to see that because you're being trespassed, so I need your information.
You don't need my information.
Yes, I do.
You can just.
We got called here, so
That's fine. Do you see me?
Just because you got called there doesn't mean you need that man's information. You have to have a valid reason to be called there. This is the RAS I was talking about earlier. Just because somebody wants to whine and complain about their feelers doesn't mean that you automatically need to get the other guy's information. You have to make sure that that man or woman's feelers that got hurt extend to the physical realm where there is actually cause of loss, harm, damage, or injury to that said person so that they can make a valid claim in a court. That's called a crime.
Breaking any laws?
At this point, they're trespassing you guys from the property.
For what reason?
Again, you can't trespass somebody for not breaking the law. Just because you're feelers doesn't mean that they're trespassing. Trespassing means that they're doing something in violation of the law, not your policy. So when you make a policy that they can't videotape or video record on premises when it's a public area, sorry, that's a First Amendment violation. That's you're trying to use a subordinate policy. Doesn't work that way.
They have the ability to tell you who they want.
Is this private property or is this public property?
They're banning you from the property.
No, but I'm asking a question. Is this public property or private property?
Private. It's private property.
It's private property. Siouxland Community Health does not receive public funding.
It's not owned by
Community Health. Community Health. Sounds public to me.
It doesn't.
No, I didn't say owned by the government.
Well, people who own it can say who run the facility and maintain it and say who they want on the property. So
not if it's publicly funded, they cannot. That's not the way it works, sir.
You're currently being trespassed from here. You didn't.
Here locally, it's called People's Community Health Clinic. Interesting, huh?
And there's also, even if you're on private property, like a grocery store or something, if you don't break the law, they can't discriminate from you.
Right. It's open to the public for public accommodation. And part of that public accommodation is to be able to journal your passage in and out of those places, even as a matter of education or conversation, let alone any kind of enforcement or safety measures of anything to do with legal or commercial entities. It's a super.
I look at all of the businesses that are operating. This is just what I got with all this whole stuff that I want to go over with you. All of those businesses are the family's business, the American's business. And, obviously this has been stripped from us and hidden from us with these whole swapping the times and all of that stuff. But everybody's supposed to be acting in good faith around here.
Exactly.
And if you ain't acting in good faith, you shouldn't be getting no funding, and you certainly shouldn't be allowing those weeds to grow in this garden of prosperity and abundance your ass needs plucked.
Yep. And
so it's
right,
over. I'm telling you right now, it's coming a short time that this shit show is going to be over.
Well, yeah, and I'm right in line with that. But again, and I think you're in line with this as well, that we need to start filling those public offices, those seats in office, with people that know and comprehend what's going on.
There's a framework for that, Wiz. That's why I want to get with you.
Right. And we see that through people trying to rebuild the republic and stuff, and that's what you're talking about. And
absolutely. But look at it like this. Any paperwork that's involved in any business, any of the people's business, any of that paperwork There's an element of design. And through those communications, you create an operations and a strategy. And that damn strategy better be in good faith.
Yeah.
Period.
And that's what the forefathers set forth with that instrument, why it holds true so far today, is that people still hold that faith in it. And that's what actually pays the debt of the United States, is the faith.
Yes.
So let's continue on with this one. I believe I'm being
unlawfully trespassed, and if you want to trespass me, go ahead and trespass me. But I'm not surrendering my information. You're not getting my identification from me. I value my Fourth Amendment rights, and
Hey, as long as you guys stay on the sidewalk, they're cool.
Yeah, see, he's on the sidewalk, and they're trying to keep him from being on the property, which, again, this is still open to the public. It's very much, again, the community health center here is for the community, so therefore it's a public accommodation center.
Exactly.
As long as I stay on the sidewalk, they're cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
Public area.
I don't need him to think I'm cool to stand on the sidewalk. That's none of his business.
No,
what I'm doing.
we're gonna leave. That's fine. But
You can do whatever you want to.
Don't go on the property because they maintain.
If I find out that I'm going to look it up on Onyx right now, and I'm going to make some phone calls. And if I find out this is public property, I certainly am going back on the property. And then you guys can come back out here and do whatever you think you want to do. That's up to you.
So we understand the situation, right? They don't want you on their property.
You understand what I just said, right?
As long as you stay on the sidewalk, everything is cool, right?
Well, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stand here and I'm going to videotape and video everything I possibly can, and we're going to get some more people down here, like I told you I would.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, you gentlemen have a good. But I'm telling you.
Yeah, you want to make a big scene of one guy down there videotaping and get to the point where, well, you're okay to do so from the public sidewalk. Great. I'm going to invite another at least 12, so we have a jury of my peers. Ignorant fuck. Excuse my language.
Right now, if you get another phone call from these people, then I'm back on the property. You know why? As soon as I find out this is publicly funded, it's public property.
I didn't even get it.
As soon as I find out this is publicly funded. So it's a community clinic, so I guarantee it's a not-for-profit or nonprofit, and therefore it accepts public funding. You get how that works? So it doesn't matter if it's a private entity. It's a matter of whether they accept the public funding and open their doors to accommodate the public. This is called public accommodation. You can't discriminate against anybody. And what they're doing here is using the First Amendment to discriminate, saying you can't come on past this certain point. Bullshit.
The operations of that business or strategy better be in good faith.
Yep.
Period.
It's always they're just trying to hide something because they just don't want people.
Well, they
watching.
shouldn't be allowed to. They shouldn't be allowed to operate in already. I mean, this is not rocket science to what these folks have been doing.
Right. They shouldn't be allowed to operate in the capacity that they do, and that is that every last one of them uses a financial scheme that is a major problem because people don't understand how it works. That double entry ledgering system and everything, and the titles and legal entity and commercial entity, and how they intercourse with each other through various different venues and jurisdictions. And they want to think that they do. Well, you haven't even figured out what that fucking identification means to you. It's clearly got the state at the top. It's a state identification process.
Are they visiting a CPS? Are they visiting CPS, like human resources or something?
No, this is a community health clinic.
Same thing. It's just like you go there. They control people by their health. It's
the indoctrination is to believe that you need. Yeah, it's part of the indoctrination to believe that you need some doctor to help you heal.
They're probably in there doing some really weird shit under the guise of health. Oh, here's your jabbies and here.
Well, there's a natural process for healing, and that is the natural process of maintaining a proper diet to begin with. So the medical society uses synthetics rather than the natural nutrients.
I've gone into places like that around here. They usually have like a rainbow on the wall and purple flower or
that's
purple
that DEI stuff.
It's the
It's the
spreading.
DEI stuff, the diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
That's what happens when you have no lawful right to ask for anybody's info.
Have a good day, sir.
Learn a lesson today, Officer Gill.
Hey, don't block the driveway there, sir.
I'll do whatever I want.
See, read between the lines or outside of what was said or done here. Exactly what he stated at the end there was, see, you had no lawful reason to ask me for identification. That's why you're walking away without acquiring my identification.
The walk of shame.
Absolutely.
You just have a nice day and take off.
Get the fuck out of here.
Absolutely. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Let's see what Neil deGrasse says about jury duty. You know, this is one of those guys people think is very intellectual and stuff. Let's see if I have anything I can say about this.
These intellectual guys. Oh, no, not this guy.
Who accuses a man, there's a woman who accuses a man of robbing her of her groceries and personal effects. They were not able to recover on this man or anywhere where he had been any of her personal effects or any of the groceries that she was carrying. And so the judge says, would you be able to convict based on the testimony of one person or another that you hear? They got to me and I said, everything I know about eyewitness testimony tells me that's the only evidence you have available. I will not convict. So that.
If that's the only evidence you have available, I will not convict. One eyewitness. He's saying if there's only one eyewitness, that's the only evidence you have available, I will not convict.
Who is that? Dr. From the Monsters?
Judge says, does anyone else of the jury agree with Juror 7 that you need more than one eyewitness to convict?
And that is not what he said. He said if that's all you have, then he would not convict. So if you had one eyewitness and circumstantial evidence, then he might convict. But he didn't say that you had to have more than one witness.
And I said, what do I do now? The person in front of me said, that's not what he said. I so resisted the urge to say, you didn't report what I said accurately 15 seconds after I said it. So I was out in the street 30 minutes later.
And that's exactly what happens in a lot of communications. Greetings, Iman. How you doing tonight?
All is well, brother.
Good. Good to hear you again.
Yeah, I've been putting into work, doing a lot of studies, and the Most High been showing me a lot. And you know what's so funny, brother? I found this document today. I wasn't even looking for it. And it says scriptures from Keith. And it was recorded back in October 15th, 2019. I think that's when you were on Facebook.
Yeah, well, I might have been on YouTube by then, but yeah, probably from Facebook. I have a lot of material originated from there.
Well, the only reason I said that because one of the script I was using on Facebook is written down on the bottom of it, and then I wouldn't even remember that, and so that's when I knew it had to be Facebook because but anyway, it's all good. So it just says, just remember that I am the butterfly. Leave the caterpillar where they are at the cocoon and no casket. Eventually they evolve.
Absolutely. That's that lesson about being patient and let life serve itself sometimes.
Yeah, I guess we all want to evolve, right? We all are evolving.
Absolutely.
But all is good, brother. I love to like I said, I've been so busy heavily in the books. I just recently went back and reread the Constitution again, and I found part of the 11th Amendment and Article 1, let's say Article 3, that they removed some stuff out of it. And when I saw that, I said, oh my, because part of the 11th Amendment is part of Article, oh no, I'm sorry, I apologize. Hold on. Is it the 11th Amendment? I think it's the 13th Amendment. Hold on, I got it right here. I don't want to keep you, but I had it written down, and I was like, oh my goodness, it's all revelation. Everything is being shown. Okay, I gotta go back to this page right here. So it took me to it says 11th Amendment, suits against the state 1798 shall not be construed to extend to any suit in law or equity commenced or prosecuted against one of the United States citizen or another state. And part of it sounds like a diversity case, because to be in have sued against one state to another state, that's a diversity, and to the same state is in one state. So that's the state of the United States, and so it's an embassy. So I don't know what they're talking about. And then when I look back, it took me back to Article 3 under Section 2, Clause 1. The judicial power shall extend to all cases in law and equity arising under the Constitution.
Well, that's that dual citizenship.
Exactly. So, you know, just like you said earlier today when they were talking about Oathie man, right? Ain't that Oathie man with lice? Don't he have lice? He got license, so he must got lice, right? I love you, brother, but keep it going.
Yeah. So when it comes to the jury thing, you know, to not convict simply because there's only one witness is reasonable. When we have to think about the objective views of something that has a patent reality. So this is why we often demand at least two witnesses. So, and it wasn't relevant to the fact that there should be two witnesses, but the fact that it didn't come with any other evidence whatsoever. Not another witness, but evidence. There was no real evidence. There was no consequential evidence or anything like that. Coincidental evidence, nothing. Just one eyewitness. And he said he couldn't take that. So again, another important aspect of listening to people when they say something. You can't make too much of it. Here we get a crash out Karen. She's gonna get pepper sprayed. This is where we have people that think they're so entitled that they can enforce the law, and they don't even have a damn badge. And again, this goes to the toxic masculinity that I believe in the right place in women. When they present themselves in this fashion, this is toxic masculinity. It's toxic to women. For this reason, it extends from women being masculine. Stay in your feminine place and do things accordingly. Don't get so butthurt that you think your feelers is going to fill you full of armor and weaponry that you can stand up and do anything about it. That's a man's job. If you really think you're that butthurt, call another man to make the confrontation. Instead, you want to act all beastly like you're going to do something about it and confront people. And then when you get your ass whooped or pepper sprayed, then you want to cry.
I'm not going to sit here and answer your questions. You just interrupted me in the middle of my video. Now you want to ask me what I'm doing?
What are you photographing, boys?
Did he express to you? We're in the middle of taking audio and video. So we're not interested in having a conversation right now. Is that okay with you?
No, it's not okay with me.
It's not okay with you that I'm not interested in having a conversation with you?
You understand the insanity of that? This woman is inserting herself. She's in her car. on her way leaving, and she's going to insert herself into this video session where it clearly says that, hey, I don't even want you in the video. Would you mind leaving? She says no. She's going to demand to be part of the video and demand that he turn it off because she doesn't want to be part of the video. It's fucking insane.
Some crazy dykes.
You're gonna force me to? You better take that mask off, a little oxygen into the brain there. I don't know what's going on. You feeling okay?
I agree. Now watch this.
Whoa, what the fuck? What are you, out of your fucking mind, lady? Whoa, what the fuck? What are you, out of your fucking mind, lady?
She just tried to run him over. Just tried to hit him.
Yeah.
This is how far this entitlement bullshit goes to, and this is coming from an old woman. How did she get this far in life, people?
Well, people treat her like a man.
Well, no, people.
They treat her like a woman, but she's acting like a man. So I'll beat her ass. I'll punch her out.
People have been giving women too much of the spoliation and everything. Women, if you want to act like this, you want to act like a man and talk like a man, you're going to walk like a man.
Yeah, I'll punch her out.
Whoa, what the fuck? What are you, out of your fucking mind, lady?
Yeah, I'm out of my fucking
What are you gonna
mind.
do?
And then she admits that she's out of her fucking mind. This is evidence, folks, and they admit it.
What am I going to do?
You're gonna hit me with your car?
Are you out of your mind?
Are you serious?
Do you have any idea that you can't sit there and take photos on federal property?
Why don't you go call the
without
cops?
giving?
Why don't you go call the cops and I'll show them the video?
Excuse me? That's against the First Amendment that says I can take video on federal property.
Yeah, she's a dumbass.
You trying to hit me with your car and we'll get you arrested. How about that, smart ass? How about that? Back away from me. I'm telling you right now, stop walking up to me.
Back away from you?
Yes.
I'd knock her out.
Back away from me. Get in your car. Listen to him.
See, she's already tried to run him over. Now she's gotten out of the car and she's approaching this man.
He's already got proof.
Yeah, this woman is toxically masculine.
He's got it on video. He's got every right to knock her out. I'd do a left hook
jab with a nice right underhook.
Yeah. Boom.
Get in your car and go home.
It's constitutionally protected. Get in your car and leave. I almost saw you hit him with your...
See, he's got another witness in the parking lot saying that this is what he's doing is a constitutionally protected right, and he watched her try to hit him.
I don't take orders from schmoes like you boys.
Oh, yeah.
I don't take orders from schmoes like you boys.
She needs to be knocked out. The best thing for her would be knocking her out.
Well, long time ago, Rocky, somebody should have put this woman in her place. This lady should never be this age, acting like this, out in public like this. This is total bullshit, and it's our fault, guys.
It gives boomers a bad name. But
you want to, and ladies and gentlemen, you beta cut corporate motherfuckers. Excuse me if you don't like that. That's probably because you're one of them. I don't give a rat's ass. You're the ones that allowed this shit, right?
Purple. She got that purple.
Yeah, I'm supposed to take orders from you and answer your stupid fucking questions. Get in your car and get out of here.
You cannot photograph people.
I'm doing it right now. What are you going to do about it?
She's a
What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it?
Pepper spray. Pepper spray.
Yeah, I'm supposed to take orders from you and answer your stupid fucking questions. Get in your car and get out of here.
You cannot photograph people.
I'm doing it right now. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it?
Now she moves forward. Now she moves forward and tries to physically approach him. That's an attack.
Yeah, to kick her
Almost
in
see
the
your eyes in there.
This woman is toxically masculine, folks. You ladies should never act like this. And if you think I'm a misogynist or something, that's fine. You go ahead and believe that. But I'm standing up this way because I believe women should be protected. They shouldn't be the ones out here pulling this kind of insane bullshit. Hard to protect him like this.
What are you going to do about it? Stupid mistake, lady. You don't assault people out in public. Bad move.
spray her again.
You gonna stick around and be a witness, buddy? Awesome. Appreciate you. We got witnesses, lady. If I was you, I'd get in your car and go home before you dig yourself. I'm going to have you arrested for trying to hit me with your car.
See, at this point, he's not even wanting to call the police himself. She's the one that so much wants to call the police to express her point of view and try to push her unlawful bullshit as being righteous and just.
Well, she ain't gonna get in her car and leave just getting pepper sprayed either.
Yeah.
So if I was you, I would just leave. I'm going to give you that chance because I'm not going to call the cops on you. You want to call them? I welcome you to. You got to be out of your mind.
So fucking
Trying to
dumb.
hit me with her car and then gets out of her car and tries to.
Say what?
Call the cops. She's so dumb. She's gonna call the cops on herself.
Well, yeah, that's what most of these people do.
So
it's
So
just
you always
ridiculous,
gotta record.
and it's just so ridiculous, folks, because it's simple knowledge that you can learn through simple documents known as the foundational documents of this very nation. It doesn't take much more than that when it comes to your supposed rights. Now, when it comes down to the legal entity and the commercial entity, then you got to start getting into the UCC and legal processes and the different jurisdictions of those forums. The next one I got, Joe Rogan, coming from a different era. A little slice of Joe Rogan here. I like Joe Rogan.
I opened up a comedy club in Austin, Texas a year and a half ago. Thank you very much. When the world got crazy, I had to move to the land of the free. I love it there. But one of the weird things about owning a comedy club is other people's reactions to it. And I think Fox News had the dumbest reaction. They're like, Joe Rogan created an anti-woke comedy club.
Figures, Fox News, huh? Fake news, fake news.
I'm like, oh, you mean a comedy club? Like a regular one? That's like saying I got a meat-eating steakhouse. Like, you don't have to use all those words. Like, I get why young people want to be woke, but I can't do it because I come from a different era, okay? I was born in 1967, and when I was a boy, you could be Hitler for Halloween.
I'm telling you, folks. Let me get up here. I'm telling you, folks, you don't even have to have Halloween for an excuse. And you can see through past videos, I have no qualms with it. Not even here on the metaverse, nor in the physical reality of my own community here, wearing that short mustache. And I'll be glad to shave it off again right here on video. You still have that supposed right. You have that ability to express yourself any way you want. Other people can talk about it, however, all they want, in any manner they want to. Just don't let it get you butthurt.
Nobody cared. I never did it, but you could do it. You could show up at your Jewish friend's house. I'm like, oh, look at the little Fuhrer. Give a little tussle of your hair, throw a candy in your bag. They knew you weren't really Hitler. Right? He's dead and you're 4. This is ridiculous. I opened up a comedy club in Austin, Texas a year and a half ago.
And that's a simple point, folks. A very simple point that when you let your observances trigger you into a decrepit self, where you derogate your own self-image by spewing hatred and stuff, that's on you, folks. That's on you. So let's take a look at the next one. Corrupt cops caught in crime. No way. No way. Come on, don't say it's so. Oh, yeah, I remember this. This is a good one, too, because the corruption of the crime they're committing is they're asking for donations off the clock, but in uniform. Right, Russ?
Yeah.
Police gear for this? You're not on duty, though, are you? Surviving is what I'm doing, man.
Not on duty. You're off duty, all right? Surviving is what I'm doing. Yeah, you're surviving on fucking anywhere from $75,000 to $150,000 a year salary. Come on.
You're robbing the people real good.
On duty or not? No. You're not. Why y'all in the uniform and everything? Because I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm not going to continue this conversation with you.
Right. That's what happens when you back cops into a corner and they're getting ready to get caught doing something illegal.
We need to speak with the detective about.
This is the worst part about it. This shows you how it is systemic. It's not just the one officer.
Yeah.
It comes from the top down.
Some illegal stuff that we know about. There's no detectives here. We got to talk to somebody. You got to make a report on a whole group of police officers that are violating. Well, we don't do that here. You do.
Well, we don't do that here. The fuck you don't.
I remember when cops, they had a turn your drugs in program, and they were just selling it, making money out.
Mm-hmm.
Turn your drugs in.
Yeah, it's like the buyback of weapons program. Funny
Yeah,
shit.
like exactly. And then like just say no to drugs. It was like a feminist movement. And then there was the feminist movement that was Mothers Against Drunk Drivers.
Yeah, dads, all of them.
I think all of them was. I think all of them was created from the inside out, and have played the game real well, and all of them are getting funding.
Yeah, and that's all it's about is the funding. It's not so much.
Well, the DUI, they make
we'll
so
get
much
together
money.
because
I
think you'll, I think you'll see a whole lot of value in it.
Yeah. Well, I think the funding is the main issue, and people get distracted by that and don't realize
Should be
that
the only issue. And then if we talk about the elements of design and the communications of the operations and strategy within that,
Well,
that
and
has to be built in good faith.
right, but that
Or
fundamental
that nobody gets anything, and that must be proven.
But the fundamental thing of funding it first is the element that needs to be addressed spiritually. That's being careful to maintain good works. Without that, the funding gets started. Nobody knows how, but it's there, and all of a sudden there's a debt, but nobody wants to recognize the credit.
What's your name and badge number? No, don't close that window. What's your name and badge number? You open that window, boy. Is my name Chrissy? Is that what you said? Is your name Tyrant, motherfucker? Is that your name? How would you know about anything in my personal life if you didn't run an illegal investigation? Stupid nigga. No, you need to do your fucking job. What do you want? We need to make a report.
You're going to do a report.
Other police officers breaking the law. Who? Clarksville. Get the notepad out. Nope. Goodbye.
Nope. Goodbye. See, blatantly refusing to do that which most police officers are willing to do is that to investigate themselves so they can come back with an unfounded. You know, this guy's just blatantly denying it. That's obvious, right?
Absolutely.
See, they're just too stupid to understand what they do. You know, that's blatant evidence that he's refusing to do his job, because there's plenty of evidence that they regularly investigate themselves. Huh. Now here's another disturbing one. Female cop wouldn't help a lady in need. She instead violates her rights.
This lady had a disagreement with a Burger King employee, so she called the cops to settle the dispute. But she had no idea how things would turn out when this cop showed up.
Hello. Hi.
See, this lady called him for assistance. Look how she treats her. She treats her as though she's a criminal.
Excuse me? Is this your car? This is my car. Over there. Excuse me? What's going on? Are you angry or something? Just your tone. Your tone. I don't like your tone.
Okay. You called us.
I did call you. I called you for help, but if you have an attitude, I want somebody else to come and take over. I know it's hot. I'm aggravated too.
Okay. Put your phone down.
I'm recording. Call your.
Okay, so already, despite the fact that the other woman was very clear and succinct and was making sure to keep things de-escalated, the cop now, instead of going into any kind of mode of understanding that this woman is the one that called her, now directs her or orders her to put her phone down. Why would you do that?
Supervisor, I can see this going to work out bad. Call your watch, call your supervisor, disengage and call your supervisor. You have an attitude.
The female is being uncooperative.
The female is being uncooperative. No, you don't get to come up and start giving directives. You're doing an investigation. See, this is the narcissism of these people in their discretion to discern each incident and use it to their advantage. Now, I'm wondering, of course, this is a local officer, and this is a well-established food joinery, and I'm sure she probably eats there, maybe even gets discounts. We don't know that kind of relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to understand, though I project very widely and broadly and ambiguously there are certain things that we have to remember when people like this in these kinds of uniforms come up and start accosting people that are calling them for assistance. Why is that? Why would they do that kind of thing? There is no reason for it, naturally. So what is underlying? Why do they behave that way? Again, this is the narcissistic viewpoint of having supported their community in certain aspects because they already have some kind of internal relationship with these businesses. It's a protection racket. Protection racket.
Call your supervisor. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Straight up hands on. Didn't investigate anything. Straight up, come over here, put your phone down, hands on.
It's insanity.
Why are you touching me? No, not recorded. Don't touch me.
Lawsuit incoming. Damn right. This has to stop, folks. Has to stop. And here we've got another First Amendment retaliation. And again, I don't support any kind of this First Amendment auditing unless you absolutely know exactly what you're doing. And I don't know that too many people do. That's why I don't do too much of it. Just saying.
I'm asking you a question. Who are you? Why are you taking pictures of the department? Sir. Don't touch me. Okay, I'm going to put you in cuffs. Okay? That's fine.
See? Straight hands on. And you can clearly see he's on a public sidewalk.
Going to be put in cuffs. Supervisor. Okay, supervisor's on his way. Okay?
Don't turn my phone off.
Okay, you're not in control here.
I am, actually. You work for me. I don't work for you.
46, I got one in custody over here. I need a supervisor.
You're going to lose your job, buddy.
Just taking a picture of the department, taking pictures of all our stuff here, so I don't know what he's doing. Try to talk to him. He's not talking to me. He starts walking away.
Is that a reason they're cuffing me?
Yeah, you're being detained right now. Yeah.
For what? For what crime?
No, it's reasonable suspicion.
Of what crime?
Okay.
You have to have reasonable suspicion of a crime to detain somebody.
I'm not going to speak to you.
That's
you
fine.
Speak to my supervisor when he gets here.
You have me in cuffs right now.
Okay, yeah. You're being detained at the moment. Yeah.
Because you're an ignorant asshole.
This is part of an organization.
Says he sued and won and cost the city 45G. That's a nice one. I like to read those. We'll have to double check and see if I can follow up on this.
Still blood money.
Well, Depends on how,
Still blood
again,
money.
again, it depends on how you use it and actually where it actually comes from. A lot of these, you'd be surprised where those funds actually come from, as well as if you put it to a good effect and use it against them.
Right.
You know, again, that charity step.
Organization called the First Amendment Strike Team.
Is he?
Yeah, so he's trying to see what we're going to do.
Okay.
He has every right to do that.
Okay, and that's fine with that. I don't have. Go ahead, cuff him.
You're good. I'm gonna go home now.
Yeah, you can go home. Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, you can go home. After all that, you can go home. Sorry, I was able to go home before. You just violated my rights. I don't care for how long. And like it said, very short time, evidently, 145G.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Next one. Police chief violates ladies' rights. This is an insane one. This guy's off duty.
This police chief pulled up on this lady in traffic. He wasn't in uniform, but in civilian clothes. That's why she asked to see his badge. But instead, he just went ballistic on her. So the panicked lady drove 30 yards away and pulled up in her mom's front yard. Now, what do you think the chief of police did next?
You all at my window, I swear to God, I'll shoot you.
Look, I'm getting all this on tape.
Get out of
I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking shoot you. Really?
Well,
Right there, I got a right to shoot back.
This
Just
is
threatened to
the,
shoot.
people just don't understand, buddy.
this
Just
is the,
threatened to shoot me for no reason.
yeah, this is the insanity and the
So
level of
I have
Rocky, you bring up a very interesting point, because from that point on, if he reached for that son of a bitch again, it's open season.
exactly. I have a right to shoot.
And that's what people don't understand.
Texas, you have to. They had a law, something like that. There used to be a law, something like that. You're supposed to shoot the motherfucker.
Well, I would, I would agree if it
Problem
was
is,
if it was out of some weird circumstance that this happened, but this has been a pandemic that's been going on for decades. So I think we got to at least give them a cage, or try to rehabilitate, and then if we can't, then it's, you know what, then yep, bets are off, I guess.
and I think you said it right. It is a pandemic. The pandemic is the being in panic of the police, and it's been coming and growing for many years. And that's the part that's got to stop. We got to stop being afraid of these things.
You know what, man? I'm going to go back to it again, buddy. I'm telling you, Keith, there's something to this. I carry another part of that as well in my lineage. I'm telling you, I think it's something big. I think something has been hidden. And I'm telling you now, I'm telling you, it's something, there's something to this. And there's a reason that these son of a bitches ain't locked me up, because I sent thousands of emails. And what I'm getting ready to share with you, I've already I've sent it to these folks. I want fucking questions. I want answers.
Well, that's
But
like
of course I don't get any.
That's like when they filed the protection order on me and then renewed it another 4 years, so that was effective 5 years in a row. They don't want people that can spout this off at the tip of their tongue. And that's what they've got in people like me and you. We've done enough research that we can show you the sources, and we're willing to continue that research. That's what they're afraid of, people that are learning and willing to do that learning themselves.
I believe, I honestly
need to teach them.
Right. But I honestly believe that we can eliminate people having to go through all of that stuff. I mean, I think it's that simple, man.
Well, that's effectively what we're going to do when this stuff starts getting out. We're going to be able to provide a simple foundation for one that turns age of majority, and show them the real choices in the world when it comes to those legal commercial entities and the various different political and spiritual forms that they use them in.
I think we got to really focus on no more funding of anything outside of the seal of good faith.
Well, yeah, and that's what it's
That
gonna,
eliminates a lot of shit.
well, yeah, that's what it's going to come down to, is that foundation of education and knowledge in those the both the spiritual and manual aspects of life. Like I said earlier, you become age of majority, you got to learn the legal and commercial aspects as well. So there's a
See, I
lot of
believe
things in a civics manner that we got to teach our younger generations that's not being done.
exactly, and that's what it just was. I was going to say here. I believe it's already been laid down and already has been established, but something has happened there, and it has been stripped and hidden. Because that's also in the 80s is also when the opioids hit the street. It's when the V rate started to rise. That's when the nuclear families started to build. That's yeah, all of it. America was booming.
Yep.
Mental health. Now look at mental health, and then ARC being the #1 treatment facility in the country, home base Eastern Kentucky as well.
Well, and that's part of what,
I think I'm part of the bloodline that controlled something that has been stripped.
Well, and that's the stripping is what the health department is doing through all the different programming,
Mm-hmm.
the educational programming. Okay, that's all plotted and training for teaching our younger children to grow up for a workforce.
All the information technology.
Yep.
Core.
Look, he pulling a gun. This for the.
Get that on video. Get out of the core. She took off on me. Get out of the core. Get out of the core. Go yourself. Get out of the core. I am the law enforcement officer. Get out of the car.
And a law enforcement officer is not supposed to react like that and respond like that, and that's why she ran from him, because he's acting insane.
Go yourself. You don't know. Get out of the car.
Go fuck yourself. You don't know shit.
Now, what would you do if you seen that you were a man pulling up on that shit?
Yeah, exactly. This is why I talk about Hitler's willing executioners and the people that will stand by with their video recorders, watching George Floyd, things like that. You know, it's time to step up and actually do something about it, particularly when you think about the aspect. When do you think it's going to happen to you? You think you're so perfect it's never going to happen to you? People die every day thinking it's never going to happen to them, and all of a sudden, boom, they're gone.
Remember, folks, this is a chief of police.
God damn, what a psychopath.
You stink.
Holy smokes.
This police chief pulled.
She should get like 10 million bucks or something. Break that motherfucking bank.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder how many are narcissists. Tubby buddy, you. Thanks. I wonder too, you know, and we have to understand that a lot of these people are rather young, and they enter into these policy enforcement divisions and stuff, and agencies and governmental branches and stuff, very naive, and then they've given a certain amount of knowledge, and they become narcissistic in a sense that they suffer from Dunning-Kruger's effect.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now. I believe what I just saw right now, that man's behavior right there. That man has a mental disorder.
Absolutely.
He has some sort of disease. For that man to act that way, I'm not so sure that man doesn't belong hanging from a rope.
Well, it's certainly something that triggers a bipolar reaction, because that's what we saw.
I'm just telling you what I believe should happen.
Like I said, police officers shouldn't be acting like that at all.
Absolutely.
They're the ones
He
that
was acting like a woman. He was acting like a woman.
That doesn't represent a seal of good faith.
Right, and acting.
Why the hell is he operating?
And acting in such a manner in the capacity of what's known as a first responder, that goes against every grain of a first responder's response. So the next one, cop pulls a taser on a young man and violates his rights. This is an older one. But understand the context here, and again, the insanity, and again, the stature of this guy. He looks kind of small compared to this guy, and so that Napoleon complex and the aggression that comes out to try to prove his power and authority, you know.
This young man was simply going to the market when this cop showed up, ordered him to leave without cause, and pulled a taser on him for the crime of questioning his authority.
Turn around, put your hands behind your back now. Now.
I've not done anything.
How that's louder than I've been known to yell and scream.
She has you on camera right now.
I don't care. I told you to go away.
I didn't do
You
it.
didn't want to listen.
You told me to go away for what reason?
Dude, I don't have to sit here and
Did I?
Yeah, he's in public and he's telling him to go away. Go away where? Absolutely.
Is this your corner, motherfucker, or what?
Absolutely. What do you mean go away?
Hell, homeboy, you ain't been in the streets, have you, homie? The fuck?
They think they have so much authority they can tell you at their whim what they want you to do. Go away. No, I don't think there's a law.
Go away.
Yeah, I don't think there's a law that says I got to go away.
Did I commit a crime?
Did I tell you to give me your ID?
Ma'am, I'm on camera. Did I commit a crime?
Stand up.
ID for what reason? All I said was that it was disrespectful to have that
And then I
certain
told you to
mask on.
walk away, didn't I?
Yes, but I
And
committed
then I
no
asked you for your
crime.
ID.
If I committed a crime,
Then I told you to walk away, didn't I? Yes. Then I asked you for your ID, didn't I? Yes. And that is evidence in on and for the record, jury, that there was no reasonable articulable suspicion because in the event, in between those two incidences, there was no crime that happened, as the evidence states. He just went from telling him to walk away, which he didn't have to. He's in public. There's no statute that says that an officer tells you to walk away, you got to walk away. I'd like to see it. You kiss my ass.
Walk away, walk away, walk away. What kind of way you want me to walk?
Yeah,
This way.
Walk this way.
Walk this
I
way.
would love to give you my identification, but I didn't do anything wrong.
Is he under arrest? If I tell you to give me your ID, you give it to me.
Sir, am I?
If I tell you to give me your ID, you give it to me. No. Again.
Yes!
Hey.
Why is he under arrest?
Get down the ground. Can you please tell me what I'm under arrest for, sir?
Failure to disperse.
Failure to disperse. Now, I want
Disperse
you to
what?
understand, failure to disperse means there has to be a crowd.
Disperse for what reason? In our country, I can say whatever the I want, correct?
Would you watch your mouth?
Even if
A crowd that would be inciting some kind of public disturbance. You know what I mean? You can't just be somewhere in public and told to disperse because you disturb some nutcase's fucking feelers.
it's a swear word. You swearing? No.
This young man.
You swearing? Fuck yeah, I am. Suck my nuts.
But if there was a crowd of men there, they should all stop that punk ass copper. And
Well, it's eventually
take his britches down.
This
Take
is
his
an old
britches
one.
down.
reckon
He needs a
that guy's
spanking.
behavior there? Yeah. You think a lot of these guys are under pressure at work? They're forced to do some of this stuff.
I think they're on something.
He was bullied as a child, and now
Or
he's
he or like the last one, he's got some kind of bipolar thing going on and he needs to be on something. And if he
Did
is,
they? I mean, did
well, he
his
should be.
commanders or something do that to him, or did they? You know what I'm saying?
Well, not that, but if he is on something or should be on something, then he shouldn't be in this capacity. He shouldn't
Well, I mean,
be
that's
in
certainly. I mean, something we need to really look at.
Absolutely. That's why I say all this is evidence of their insanity, and I don't see why we have these kind of people in these positions.
Because I mean, he doesn't seem like he's that old of a gentleman. Well, I mean, he ain't a gentleman there, but
Yeah, and that's why I say it doesn't matter what the age, but it's certainly discerning or discerting that we have such young ones on there asserting such great authority in such a narcissistic capacity. It can't be narcissism. It's got to be Dunning-Kruger.
and this was during the mask situation where
Yeah.
all the kids
Yes.
were getting, like the grocery store attendant would, like, you don't have a mask on. I'm therefore going to act like I got authority over you. What?
Absolutely.
Tell me my groceries. Shut the fuck up. I don't have to wear a mask.
And here we got one that says guy educates cops about the law. So let's take a look at this one too. Oh yeah, this is funny. This is another one of those perfect examples of the law is for thee and not for me. And they're blatant about it and they don't really give a fuck. Watch what happens here.
I've seen cops ID people countless times, harassing them for the smallest things, like even for flicking some cigarette ash on the ground. But
For flicking some cigarette ash on the ground, you know, they call it littering. Ash. Not the butt, the ash. Okay? And this is how pathetic they get. Now watch what happens.
watch what happens when the roles are reversed and a civilian catches a cop littering.
The last year was the deadliest. You just littered, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, wait, you just threw your
littering.
The last year was the deadliest. You just littered, sir. Sir.
See, he just
The last year was the deadliest. You just
threw a rubber glove in the bushes here.
Yeah.
Right in front of everybody. This guy's calling him out. Right in front of everybody. Watch the response.
littered, sir. Sir, wait, you just threw your That is my
Mind your own business. No one else is saying a fucking word. But he responds, mind your own business.
business. Go pick up those gloves. Oh, that's disgusting. I'm gonna ask him to pick those gloves up. Can I have a card? No. I want his badge number card. You didn't just litter.
He works for me.
I'm gonna file a complaint and
He works for this guy. He's holding up a card. This is how hard he had to push this to get some kind of action taken on it. Watch.
would like his badge number and card. Could you give me a badge number and card, sir?
My name's right here. You got too much time on your hands. You know that?
No, man.
So this commanding officer eventually told him, they clipped it out for some reason, but eventually told him to go over and pick it up. So he went over and picked it up. Now he's complaining he ain't got nothing better to do with your time. That's why we're doing this, because you cocksuckers keep thinking the law is for us and not for you. That you get to do it right in front of us and say, fuck you, it doesn't apply to us. And then try to enforce your insane bullshit on us. It's not going to keep working, folks. These people have no authority. They can only enforce contracts. And the contract here at play is a city ordinance for not littering. And they are the official or agent capacity that must follow that as a local resident.
I mean, really, Keith, is it that hard for them to have to follow a set of guidelines for the American people to step up and say, hey, listen, there's a set of guidelines here that has to be followed for any funding, and it has to be sealed in good faith. Figure it out, boys, in your operations and your strategy, but it has to be in good faith.
Yeah, how can this be in good faith?
It would fix it.
See, and that's why I was talking earlier about filling those offices, filling those seats with people that would do it in good faith.
You should
I
get
will.
a ticket. Or
What do you deserve?
good. Throw it in the trash. Shame on you. The excuse of a cleaning crew coming up, that's not enough to just start littering. I can't throw this in the curb. What kind of horse shit is that? What he did was wrong. Why can't you
His excuse was that there's a cleaning crew that comes through and cleans. No, there's a cleaning crew that is in existence because of fuck-ups like you that won't use the fucking trash.
just acknowledge that? That's the problem with the people who wear your uniform. You have no idea how to say that someone who wears your uniform did wrong. He just littered. If I did it, I'd have $1,000 fine.
Absolutely. We get fined for flicking ashes.
My cigarettes are.
Yeah, they do it. They do everything right out in the public and say, no, it doesn't. Nah. That's why we've got a cleaning crew. That's their excuse, right?
My cigarettes are
My-
non-filtered.
So my $1,000 fine goes to pay the cleaning crew so they can come by and clean up your fucking physical mess and not ashes. Fucking pathetic.
My cigarettes are non-filtered, so if I throw them on the ground, I just squish them and they turn into. There's no plastic filter. so they're
Yeah,
biodegradable.
yeah. Do you roll your own?
No, I get
Oh, okay.
American Spirit
American Spirit. Okay.
non-filter.
So this one here, we get another cop getting butthurt because he can't somebody won't allow him to violate their rights.
Pulled over these people who were driving at speed limit and issued them a ticket for speeding. Rightfully upset, the driver said he would challenge this in court. But when he drove away, the cop started tailing him. And what the cop did next is nothing short of unbelievable.
Wait, you pulled him over again?
Yes. Speed limit is going to be 65 miles per hour. You're just doing 55. Let me see.
Pulled him over for supposedly speeding, and I believe the context of this is that he pulled him over for doing something like 67 and a 65. Now he's pulling him over for doing 55 and a 65.
Your driver license and the registration.
Are you serious? Why are you pulling him over?
Driving too slow.
I've been recording you. You're going like 60. Now he's pulled you over because you're going too slow.
Can
Can we help
make
you?
sure everybody okay?
Does he have a supervisor?
I'm sorry?
Does he have a supervisor?
Yeah, we are.
Can we call him in?
No, you cannot.
You're a public servant. We're requesting a supervisor. We need and requesting a supervisor.
Why do you need a supervisor?
We need to talk to him.
Why do you need
for the situation that we're going through right now?
Understood. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to tell you right now.
Yeah.
We're not going to call a supervisor.
Everything. They're supposed to call a supervisor.
That guy don't even look American.
See, these guys escalate situations, and that's your right to call their supervisor, which is known as escalating to the supervisor. So you have a right to escalate things to de-escalate the situation. You have a right to escalate to a superior authority to de-escalate the incident.
Team recorded. Sir, today you're going to be receiving a ticket for driving too slow. The supervisor's coming now. I'm waiting for the supervisor.
Another lawsuit incoming. Absolutely agree. This is ridiculous.
I got pulled over once by a state trooper, and I was arguing with my wife at the time, and he tried to start, like we were having a domestic violence charges put on me for some, hey, I can argue with my fucking wife if I want to. You mind your own business, stupid ass copper.
Absolutely.
I just told my wife, I said, be quiet, don't talk, I'm talking. I'll talk to this motherfucker.
I do the same thing with my companion. She understands that, you know, we're going to have our differences, and that if somebody else gets involved, it usually destroys those relationships. She's seen it happen many times, so she's quite on my side on that part, but she still doesn't back down from arguing.
Yeah, but
so
it was
anyway,
just, I knew that coppers, they always try to make something little big and exact, you know, turn everything into a fucking something. They just want some kind of way to charge you money or something.
And this is one that, you know, again, still disturbing because it's some Karen that thinks she knows the law and stuff and wants to get in her feelers. But then when she flags down an officer of the law, the officer of the law actually, you know, explains things. And so there's a positive. But at the same time, the insanity, again, is the forthright entitlement that these people think they have under a false knowledge base. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about, yet they come out and they make themselves look like fools and still don't see themselves as looking like fools. They're still so deep in their feelers and indoctrination that they still believe they're right. It's pathetic.
Let's go over here. The elevator's right here. Come on.
Hug.
Yeah.
This guy's out in public, walking down the street, videoing, and as he goes by the storefronts, he captures video of what's going on in the store. This lady didn't like it. She felt in her feelers and got all upset.
You have somewhere you have to be?
No.
You have somewhere you have to be?
Yeah, I'm working.
Working for who?
Myself.
Can I call 911 on your ass?
If you want, yeah, they can educate you.
Dare you put something on Facebook about me? Excuse me? Hello? Right here.
I dare you to put something on Facebook about me. Okay. Fuck, I'm going to put it on YouTube just like this guy did.
Look at that look.
And this is our women. This is sick. I mean,
Yeah, that is.
how do people live to be this age being this fucking stupid? Pay attention.
Mom, let's walk back down now.
Okay, yeah, I'll be happy to.
I mean, what kind of creature is this?
What? Sorry, Pop. He's over here.
Video outside. You can video us. Put video camera through the windows. You said if you were to you work at here, car 130. Yes. Okay, so if you don't want him inside there, that's your permission. You don't put him inside. He doesn't have to come inside if you don't want. He can walk up down the street. He can look at the windows and film. Something I can do about it.
And just say pictures of random people.
I'm sorry. I wish it was. There's something I can do, but he's not a.
You got a file or whatever he's doing?
No, what he's doing? Did you ask him nicely what he's doing?
Yes, I did.
What did he say to you?
I'm window shopping.
Okay.
Told her he was window shopping. Okay.
All right, Sarah.
Hi.
I just curious from my own knowledge here. Are you putting together a film for a movie or what you doing?
It's for my own independent use.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing I can do.
I don't want my picture for his independent use.
There's something I can do about it. This is a public sidewalk. You're on camera right now.
I understand that.
So if anybody wants to buy the camera footage, they can ask for it. And your face, my voice.
So you represent us as a law enforcement officer.
And
I expect that.
And I see that.
I don't know what he is.
He's just a normal person that's just holding a camera. There's nothing.
Again, the context in which they speak tells you how indoctrinated they are, as this man goes around saying he's just a normal person. Okay? We are not persons. We have the right to be secure in our houses, persons, papers, and effects. We are not those things. We are something different. We are not normal persons. There's no such thing as a normal person except as a fictional description of something that is real.
Nothing I can do. I wish there was. That there's something I can do. I apologize for my hands tied. I wish I could help you. There's something I can do.
Can I have your name and phone number, please?
And I'd rather not give it.
Does it have to?
But you can sit here and videotape me.
Oh, you can go inside if you don't like it and hide.
You were videotaping me inside.
I was over there when you came out here and confronted me.
Your camera was right there in the window.
Here's what I'm going to suggest. Ma'am, just go back inside your store. If he goes inside, just call us. If you don't want him inside your store, call us. We'll escort him out, okay?
If you don't want him inside the store, call us and we'll escort him out. That's the most they can do. Notice he didn't even mention trespass, because again, he would have to be doing something illegal or unlawful inside while doing so. Just asking them to escort him out is one thing. So the next one I got. Sue me then. Cop enters without warrant, violates folks' rights. And this is a sad day when people act like this. Again, the people that are put in these positions go around acting like this as if though they have the ultimate authority when they don't.
These cops showed up on this family's doorstep without a warrant, and in a massive violation of the Fourth Amendment. They stepped right into the folks' home and refused to leave. But these cops are about to finally get what they
So there's at least 5 or 6 of them inside this doorway here.
Deserve.
We have a trespass going on. This is the trespasser.
I need you to step outside my house.
We've asked you more than once.
I'm not going to ask anyone.
We came over here to talk to you.
Okay, I understand that. I need you to step outside my house. You don't have a right to walk into my house. You don't have a right to do that. No.
I do. Just like the officer earlier that thinks they can walk right into your house. No, you don't. That's a violation of the Fourth Amendment. People have the right to be secure in their houses, papers, and effects. Houses, persons, papers, and effects. So you do not have the right to just walk into somebody's house. And no, you do not own it once you walk in. And yes, you are inside their house.
No, you do not. Please step out of my house.
I'm not going to step out of your house.
I don't want my rights violated. You don't have the right. You violated my rights. It's not my take.
You're in violation, man.
Well, then I guess you're going to sue me, right?
No, I'm going to make sure you go to jail and lose.
Absolutely. It is a jailable offense.
That badge.
I guess you're going to maybe go to jail. You got to allow us to do what we think is right.
What you think?
No, not what you think is right. See, you're blatantly violating the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution. You cannot discern that anything beyond that point is right. You've already violated it. That is patently observable.
With these operations and strategies right here doesn't seem to be sealed in good faith, and it's on and for the record.
Absolutely. And these are people that are supposed to be knowing of these laws, taking oaths to these constitutions, and upholding them. And they evidently don't even know them, standing there saying, oh, I can come in your home. No, you can't. Not without that warrant.
Think it's right.
And just and safe.
What do you mean? I don't.
I'm going to detain everyone in here.
You can't.
You got to have a warrant. You got to have a warrant.
You don't get to tell me what you want to do with my house.
Get your ass out this motherfucker. You better back the up. Get your ass out. I want to hear.
So evidently they clipped some out, but evidently some word came from somewhere that they better get their fucking non-authority having asses out of there. Every last one of them doing the walk of shame and doing it quickly.
Hear that bullshit.
These cops showed up on this family's doorstep without a warrant and in a massive violation of the Fourth Amendment. They stepped right into the folks' home and refused to leave. But these cops are about to finally get what they deserve.
We have a trespass going on. This is the trespasser.
I need you to step outside my house.
We've asked you more than once.
I'm not going to ask anymore.
We came over here to talk to you.
Okay, I understand that. I need you to step outside my house. You don't have a right to walk into my house. You don't have a right to do that. No, you do not. Please step out of my house.
I'm not going to step out of your house.
I don't want my rights violated. You don't have the right. You violated my rights. It's not my take.
You're in violation, man.
Well, then I guess you're going to sue me, right?
No, I'm going to make sure you go to jail and lose that
I
badge.
guess you're going to maybe go to jail. You got to allow us to do what we think is right.
What you think is right.
And just and safe.
What do you mean? I don't.
I'm going to detain everyone in here.
You can't.
You got to have a warrant. You got to have a warrant.
You don't get to tell me what you want to do with my house.
Get your ass out this motherfucker. You better back the up.
Absolutely. Get the fuck out. And again, if you don't like the language,
sorry about your luck.
Yeah, I really don't care. I'm not even going to give you an apology.
You sat here and just desecrated everything that America stands for, and you get the
these are
happy
strong
ass on
offenses.
down the street.
Yeah, these are strong offenses, and they need strong language. It's time to quit
Exactly.
cucking and beta cucking. Now, here's one guy considered himself braver than everyone else. This is a military guy, John McPhee or something like that.
Hey, what are you doing? I'm like, stealing f***ing pogey from the chow hall. What does it look like I'm doing here? Like, you know what I mean? And they're like, you want to go on a mission? I was like, have you asked my boss? And they're like, we will. And I was like, yeah, I'll go on a mission. What is it? Right? And they're like, come this way.
This is as it relates to covert and overt operations.
Right? And then, so I'm going to go out alone. And the reason I had to go out alone is the general at the time said we could only hit targets if there's US eyes on, but you can't leave the wire. So when I came to Bagram, technically my status was in transit.
In transit. I've spoken about this before. This is that UPU term, freedom of transit.
Co-oping.
Well, freedom of transit is guaranteed throughout the entire territory of the Union. This is like a safe harbor for your right of passage and right of portage, where you're not identified. you remain hidden.
So they kept me in transit through the whole mission. And then when I got back, they showed the video, US Eyes On, and they launched. Interesting. Well, that's the kind of shit we had to do to make change.
So he was able to make US Eyes On observances and record them, even though he was hidden in transit. Understand the language and how it affects every venue, particularly the military venue, as it's a military language. The next one, we got another outrageous one that gets schooled. This is some kind of county sheriff or something.
Up some music in his own yard. Then these cops showed up and entered his property without permission or warrant for a noise call during perfectly legal hours. But they picked up.
Yeah, another one. They're trying to use a noise ordinance during daytime hours, obviously here. I mean, sun's full out, scope and everything.
On the wrong guy to mess with. Watch him stand his ground and send them packing.
Off my property. Off my property.
We do have a
off my property.
Service, we do have a lawful reason to be here, man. Like, it's just a simple thing. We're just gonna.
I know, but you're on my property right now, and I want you off.
I get it, but
there's a noise ordinance too, though.
Okay.
It's
another one where they have a lawful reason to be there, yet they're on private property without being able to have communication with the man that allowed him to be on the property. They just went through the gate. No, so you're not there lawfully.
What, 9 to 10?
Yeah,
we already explained why we're here.
It's not that loud. She cries if I mow my lawn.
I could still hear it down the street. Does it matter?
Off my property, dude.
You have an idea on it?
No, I don't.
You don't have...
I can still hear it down the streets. Does it matter? Yeah, it does matter, because you're supposed to be using some kind of decibel meter to make sure that it does in fact violate the city ordinance, and it's not just somebody's feelers from down the street.
An idea?
I don't have to give you it.
Okay. So if I have to
okay, hold on.
If I have to come back here.
Okay, no, you know what now? Get your sergeant here. I've asked you to leave my property how many times?
And we told you we have a lawful reason to
my
be
gate
here.
was closed, correct?
Absolutely.
Get off my property. Out. Out.
Self-admittance that he violated international law by breaching the gate and going onto private property. He violated the easement under which this man's private property is protected.
Out.
Don't get your fist in my face.
No, I'm pointing out. The gate's that way.
Get back.
The gate's that way. Have fun. Your neighbors are going straight to Iowa. Get off my property, man. You don't come into somebody's yard without asking permission.
This guy cranked up some music in his own yard. Then these cops showed up and entered his property.
And so, yeah, it was for music. But again, during the daytime. You have to understand, there's a certain limitation to those ordinances, and that's the language that they're written in. They've got to go by the letter of the law. They can't extend it beyond what it says. Now, the last one I got.
The acronym EOD.
Well, tell me, there's various ones.
Well, this one particularly pertains to explosive ordnance disposal.
Yeah.
And it's twice, obviously. There's two, in ordinance with an I and one without an I.
Cops pulled a guy over.
Yeah, ordinance and ordinance.
And it's military.
Yeah. So this is the last one. And it's another one where a tyrant cop violates a guy's rights for no reason.
These cops pulled a guy over for a traffic issue, but instead of writing him a ticket and letting him go, the cops decided to search his car too. However, extending a traffic stop without reasonable suspicion violates the Fourth Amendment. Check out how this guy, knowing his rights,
in other words, this is what I was talking about earlier when they walk up to your car during a traffic stop and they start looking around in your car looking for some kind of visual evidence of some kind of paraphernalia or something that might be out of place or something. Whether it be a prescription bottle or the corner of a baggie sticking out from underneath a seat, anything like that. And that's not part of the traffic stop. So they have to have reasonable suspicion, but just that observance isn't reasonable suspicion unless it's absolute. So you got some white powder on the dash, and for God's sake, they want to do a drug test on it, and supposedly that drug test says that it's positive for cocaine, but come to find out it's not. It just happened to be some kind of damn white powder, but they used that suspicion. They didn't have any clear evidence of a crime yet. They on suspicion. It's imperative to understand how this stuff works, folks. Don't let them get away with it.
Refuses to back down from the bully cops.
Do me a favor, step out of the vehicle.
Write me a ticket so I can go by my way. I'm not stepping out the vehicle, bro. I didn't do nothing. If you
See, and what he did right there, opening that man's door, that is a violation of persons, houses, papers, and effects. That's his effect. It's a mobile temple, like I said earlier. It's something that protects him from the environment as he's sojourning through it, passing through it, rite of passage.
You pull me out of this vehicle, I'm gonna file a lawsuit, bro. You violate my rights.
If you don't step out, I will
I'm telling you, I'm not legally getting out my vehicle when I haven't done anything wrong.
All right, well, if you
it's just ridiculous.
If you step out, we're gonna scan the car.
There ain't nothing in the car.
Okay. Are you giving me consent to search the vehicle?
No, I'm not giving you nothing.
Okay, then step out of the vehicle.
No, I'm not. Call your supervisor, man. I'm telling you, pull me out of the car, you fucking up. I'm not stepping out of. Once I step out of the vehicle, I lose my rights. I'm not fucking stupid.
I don't feel like
another warning.
Tickets, but here's your warning.
Yep.
I don't feel like issuing you any tickets, but here's your warning. After all that, see, again, they know they don't have the authority. As long as you can stick to your guns and know what you're talking about, you can get these. And it's not going to happen every time. Just because this guy had this success this time doesn't mean he's not again, no matter what he says. These people are incomprehensible, and it will not go the way you think it will. And it's not until we can educate and replace these people that we will be able to improve that situation for the future generations. So again, it's a matter of stepping up to the plate and filling these offices and agencies in the proper capacity and with the right compassion in our heart. So what do you guys got? That brings us to the end of our videos here today. So,
can you hear me?
Just barely.
Well, anywho, I was just going over this preamble that was based on this joint resolution, May 3rd, I think it's 1983, where they're talking about it's talking about where the people, the men and women, are considered American citizens. You heard of it?
Right. Isn't that the one? I think you're talking 1933. Isn't that the one where they talk about the American citizens and the sovereignty?
Yeah, and it talks about that where every third Sunday, I believe it is where is a designated day. It's something I don't know what president was at that time, but it says the president authorized the United States of America.
Yeah, you're talking about the American Citizens Day. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. And it's a preamble that says there were that is desirable that sovereign citizen of the nation be prepared for the responsibilities impressed with the significance of the status in self-governing the republic. So if it's in the republics and it's self-governing means you govern yourself accordingly, right?
Right, and that's why I say a true republic is a republic that knows the law. And in knowing that law, they're the ones that actually conduct that law by giving the directive to that government body. That's what the people have lost, is the proper communications with Congress to set forth the proper legislative laws that aren't used and abused against the very people that need the support of that government. You see, it's our obligation as competent people in that government to take part in that government and not just let it work for the benefit of those that need it and depend it. As part of being self-governing ourselves, we have to partake in the government structure that was so created to help govern those that need it. Without us, that type of government fails in every venue, no matter whether you want to call it communism, socialism, republican, democracy, whatever.
That shit show has to go.
I agree.
When do you want to get together and
Oh,
go ahead.
may I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead.
If they proclaim that every third Sunday of the month to be a designated day where people are to be American citizens self-governing themselves in a republic, and then the question that I have is, it also says that where there's 2 million men and women in the United States reach the age of 21, that would make them the age of majority. So when they changed the age of 18, are they saying you're a minor at 18 and you're an adult or at an age of majority at 21? So which is it? Because I'm confused.
Exactly, and a good point to make. And that's why a lot of people go to the statutory codes and stuff to look at that, and they're different throughout the states. So it comes again down to learning how to discern the definitions as well as parameters that those definitions are bound to.
Right, but it also says on May 3rd of 1940 that the American Citizenship Day is recognized. It's supposed to be observed or observance, and it's supposed to be a commemoration for the United States citizens. So if that's written, I don't know if they consider a public law a law, but it's written within their laws, and if it's commemorated, it's supposed to be observed, right, as recognized, in because it's issued by Congress, right?
Correct. And that's why, again, it's important to learn the distinction of the language and stuff as American citizen versus United States citizen. They are two different things. So, good point.
So I guess somebody that's donning these uniforms outside of what they're being given orally, they're not reading with sight of their eyes to know the truth, right?
Correct. They're bound to the indoctrination of remembering certain things, and so they don't do their own research and learn beyond that. So a lot of these police officers are bound to their policy, and they don't really do much study on the Constitution and the statutes and stuff. They only refer to the statutes by using certain terminology that would relate to the statute, and that's it. They really don't have anything beyond any kind of education of being indoctrinated.
So they are incompetent because they don't continue to read because somebody is spoon feeding them the information. So it's
Bingo. Bingo.
Exactly. So they're no different than infants and infants in infantry, infantiles.
Yeah, they're dependent upon somebody else ordering them to do something. So they don't really use their own discernment. If they did, it would be of a spiritual nature and not of a manual nature to follow some policy in this book. They would have that separation.
So I do agree with you because I guess they don't know that swearing on a book to say you're going to take on a position by making application is no different than putting your hand on the Bible. So which is it, Christianity or indoctrinality?
Yep, absolutely. All right, you guys got anything else? Russ, Rocky?
No, thanks for having me.
You bet. Anytime, Roddy. Feel free to speak up anytime.
I would elaborate more on that EOD if you ready to go, or?
Well, yeah, for this one, yeah. I want to cut this one off, but we can do after.
I'll hang out.
All right. All right. Well, with that, guys, you know me. I love you, but I really don't give a rat's ass whether you love me back or not. Let's say I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you don't respect me. That's on you. So may God bless you and have a good night. We'll see everybody next time. Bye now.